This is Dan Davies with AbleLink Smart Living Technologies with another 4-minute tutorial. Today we're going to look at setting up a new desktop in the Smart Living Desktop program. So let's get started. When I launch the desktop, I don't have any users in the system yet, so we're going to add a couple real quickly. I click the Add Edit User button in the top left. Now I just type a name, first name and a last name, and I can also add a nickname. All I really need is a first and a last name. That's the minimum requirements for a desktop. I'm going to select an image by double-clicking on this silhouette here and navigating on my computer to the picture that I want. There we go. So that's all the information I'm going to save for now. So I hit the Save button and I have a user, Han Solo, with a new desktop. I'm going to create another desktop. In this case, we will have Indiana Jones. And I'll double click once again and navigate to a picture of Indiana. I'll hit save and that's it. Now I'm going to use the back button to return to the login display. I'm going to click on Han's login button here to go to his desktop. Initially there's no buttons on the desktop at all. Now I can currently add buttons to this desktop because I see this lock icon down here which is unlocked. That means I am in edit mode and I'm able to make changes to the desktop. I will right click and I'm going to select some buttons from the library. So I will select Add Buttons from Library and we'll add a couple of buttons to Han's desktop. I'm going to select Basic Buttons. We'll put an email button on the desktop and a music player button, and how about a web browser button. Click back to return to the desktop. So I have 3 buttons on the desktop and they're of a default size. So I'm going to make them larger. So I'm going to double click this lock icon in the bottom left. That'll open up the Modify Desktop panel. Over here on the right you see up and down arrows. I click these arrows to change the size of the button. So if I want to make these bigger, I just simply click them multiple times and I have 3 larger buttons on the screen. If I want to go back to the standard button size, I click this blue and white icon here and that takes us right back to where we started. If I wanted to change the colors of the background, down here where it says Change Desktop Colors, I click in this green banner and I can select a different color. Let's pick black. You see that changed at the top. I can also change the background of the desktop by clicking in the center area and let's change this to gray. Now I have a nice gray and black color scheme for my desktop. When I'm ready to save this out, I just simply double click that icon once again and the desktop is saved. I can also use a picture for the background of the desktop. I double click on the lock and in this case I'm going to select an image. I can either select an image that's locally on my computer using this button here, but I'm going to actually search Google for images and I click that button there and it launches a browser and I can select an image that I want for my background. So I'll select this one right here. I'll wait till it downloads fully and drag it over and drop it here on the left. You see that added that picture as the background. Now oftentimes a picture background like this might be a bit too colorful, so you want to fade the image. So I'm going to click the Fade Image button several times so that it's not so striking. When I get to where I want, I just simply double click here on the left and now that background image is saved for this user. So there's a few of the features for how to set up a desktop. More to come in the next tutorial. Alright, that's all the time we have for today. So if you'd like more information about AbleLink or about the Smart Living Desktop or any of these programs, contact us on our website or send us an email with the email address you see on the screen. Thanks a lot for listening.